excited to bring you back to the GCBN platform. You
I know,
know,
I'm excited.
I know, because there's
Of
so
course, I'm
many.
always nervous, Beth.
Oh, I don't know why. I have no idea. 'Cause you're always, because you know what? You don't have to be nervous when you know your craft. You
Now
know,
that,
if you're
oh, you
good at it,
look
you're
at you.
prepared. You do not have to be nervous. Okay. I had a situation with the internet this morning, but God is for us. Okay.
Yes,
There
he
you
is.
go.
Yes, he is.
Awesome. But we're excited to bring you back. Welcome, Henrietta, to the GCBN virtual platform once again. If you would just make an appearance right now for just a second, and then when you're at your destination, you'll be able to come back and we'll be able to see you. But there she is. We just say welcome back
Greetings.
to Georgia Christian Business Network platform. I'm excited to have you share rather, with our listening and viewing on Zoom audience and Facebook Live. And so the opportunity is that you're going to share, sorry about that, I'm duplicating myself
The
here,
feedback,
okay?
yeah.
But I'm excited. We're going to talk about SBA loans. We're going to talk about opportunities for people to get funded, nonprofits, and all of that. Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So
Good stuff. Got some good stuff, Beth.
what I'd like for you to do is just basically, prior to releasing you to go behind the scenes for just a second, is to introduce yourself. Henrietta, you have been such a blessing and instrumental for my walk in learning more about nonprofits, PPP, opportunities for funding, grants, things of that sort. And I want to have you once again share your knowledge and do a process check. How are people doing in the midst of COVID-19? The pandemic has gotten so many things outside of the normal operations. So what I'd like to know is for you to share and just flow with what you're doing right now, where we left off the last time, and just pick back up and continue. So right now, if you would just tell people your background and, to understand how important this information is to you, and why you conducted opportunities to share your information freely initially, and tell us about the wisdom room and things of that sort. So introduce yourself to our listening audience.
Well, Beth, good afternoon. Once again, I want to thank you for even having me on GCBN. It's always a pleasure watching, not just being on the show, but watching the many different guests that you always have, giving good resources and good information. So thank you again for even allowing me on a second time.
Oh, you're welcome. We're going to have you back in as long as we're going through this process and people need the information that you have. We're going to make room on our platform to host you to come back.
Anytime, anytime. Well, guys, my name is Henrietta Acolatse. I am a nonprofit consultant, been doing it over 20 years now. Most people look at my face and they can't believe it. but it's what I do. It's what I love doing. I love helping other people, and not just nonprofits, but for profits as well. But just to kind of bring it in light of where we are now with COVID and the funding that's happening, today we're going to be talking a lot about the SBA information, SBA resources that's out there. And when I say SBA, is connected to the PPP as well. All of it is government money. All of it is SBA funding, whether it's the PPP or whether it's the EIDL. It's all government money. So that's what we're going to be really reflecting on here today. We were on once before when this thing first hit. We gave good information on the EIDL and the PPP. But just so
Right.
that you guys know, it's still out there. And we literally have, Beth, 4 more days for
Yeah.
PPP. And when I say 4 more days, I mean, if your application is not in, it needs to be in, and all of the supporting documents also need to be in. But first,
Yeah.
for our first time listeners, what is PPP, right, Beth?
Right. Exactly. What is PPP? Great question.
PPP is payroll protection plan. What it is the SBA is giving money to companies, nonprofit churches, and even independent contractors to be able to give themselves some support of income. Okay, and this is in by way of payroll. Okay, a lot of people say, oh, but I'm 1099 or I don't get a W-2. You have to be a W-2. Now, you do not have to be a W-2 currently, but the money that you get from the PPP, it has to be used as a W-2. So for those who are not W-2 and you maybe you're 1099 or maybe your independent contractor is just a side hustle, you may just get little change here and there. But if you're able to actually score that loan, because it is a loan, and we'll get to that as well. If you're able to score that loan, you're able to convert to a W-2. I was fortunate to meet a few companies um, that work with a lot of people that I introduced to them, called ADP. Now ADP, and I'm not promoting any one individual company, but this is who we've been using. ADP have changed our non W-2 to W-2s so that we will be able to comfortably use the PPP. I don't want to jump all around the place. I'm going to stop there for a second, Bev, just in case you want to interject here.
Okay, so the deal is this, is what I want to, we've got several people that have joined us additionally on Zoom call and also on Facebook Live. And so what I want to say is welcome to those people that are Zooming with us and those that are on Facebook Live, we welcome you as well. This is a great opportunity for you to glean from Henrietta Acolatse. She's been on the GCBN platform previously, and we thought in view of 4 days pending before your last opportunity to apply to some of the SBA funding, we'd bring her back, do a process check, share with people who are still yet confused, even at this hour of the game, a little later, but we want to help you to be able to take advantage of what is there for you. We've heard the doom and gloom of the pandemic and COVID-19 and what is challenging. But there are some aspects of COVID-19 that we're not taking advantage of, that we're not tapping into for business owners. And so it's quite unfortunate that so many people have lost their lives. A lot of changes have come forth, mishaps here and there. And we trust God in those situations. However, there are greater opportunities than you realize that are available for business owners, aspiring business owners. And so Henrietta is so skilled in nonprofits and for-profits. She has a Facebook group called The Wisdom Room, and I love it. And if you're not a member of that already, I'm fortunate and blessed and privileged to be an admin of the group. I'm often telling people, even that are in the Georgia Christian Business Network group, that, and even to promote what she's doing to others, any opportunity. So if you're with us, please feel free to send us chat messages. Also, Facebook, put in the group there, invite others to join, and please share the stream on your news feed so others can know that we're out here. How is that, Henrietta? Are we good?
Yes, yes, yes. That's good, Beth. What happened with the PPP? A lot of people got a little bit, should I say, discouraged. What
Right.
happened when the PPP first came through? A lot of people were trying to go through these big lenders like Wells Fargo. Oh, because I bank with BB&T, and so I'm going to go through BB&T and Bank of America. And that really was not the way to go for a lot of us smaller nonprofits and smaller businesses, because a lot of those big banks were focusing on their bigger clients.
Ah.
Um, I
Mm-hmm.
found it the best lender that I found to go through that gave the least hard time is Cabbage. Again, I'm not promoting any one person, but this is who I found was the most flexible, and they needed the least documents. And
Right.
so Cabbage was the right way to go. Now, the PPP, everyone that's listening and that may not know, is a loan. Okay, it is a loan, but it's a forgivable loan. Now, is it forgivable immediately? No. You have to show the government and your lender that you did exactly what was in the guidelines for it to be forgivable.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, right? In order
Right.
for it to be forgivable, at a minimum, initially when it started, they said 60%. They modified that law to 75%. A minimum of 75% of that loan has to be used for payroll.
Uh-huh.
And you
Okay,
have
good.
to be able to show them that.
Okay, for definite, for definite. And so you recommended that if you don't already have someone currently, and it's okay to give suggestions, but we also invite our listening and viewing audience to check out other opportunities. But if you make a suggestion, I want you to feel free to do that. And so ADP is a resource that you found to be valuable to you and your husband, right? And your multiple businesses.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And several other people that reached out to me after they were approved have been extremely happy with it. And
Okay.
at the end of the year, they're gonna run all those reports. They're gonna make sure the state taxes are paid, the unemployment taxes are paid, so that you won't be stuck at the end of the year.
Right, right, for sure. And the other thing about the PPP, I want you to revisit because several people have joined in that may not. Who qualifies for that?
Just about everybody qualifies for that. If you can give the documentation that's requested. For example, nonprofits and churches, they usually just have to give their W-3, and they have to give a copy of their ID, and they have to give a copy of their articles of incorporation. That's just about as fine line as it is. You might have to give a lease or something with your address on it, but most of the time that's about it. But for-profit corporations, most of the time have to give their Schedule C, or they might need to give an identifying document, maybe their bank account document or something a little bit more, but not as difficult as other companies have been making it with the 940s and the 941s for each quarter. You know, that makes it a little bit harder to get documents that you have not, that you may not even have knowledge of that you
Right,
were even supposed to file. So
right.
everybody qualifies, independent contractors, churches, nonprofits, for-profits, sole proprietors. So it just really depends on if you can give these companies what they are asking for.
What if I just started my business January 1, 2020?
Once your business was started, in most cases, most your business was started before January 30th, 2020, then you can
Mhm.
apply for these things.
Excellent, excellent. That's wonderful.
And I was approached by quite a good amount of people who wanted me to do it for their businesses that was in April and May. And I said, you know what? No, that's not, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, what's happening is people are still doing it, and they might be getting something, but you have to remember when the IRS, not the IRS, I'm sorry, excuse me, when the SBA are ready to do their fact check, you might be on a red line, and you want to be very careful on how you go outside of those things.
I agree. I read a meme on social media that made a comment. Okay, you all go ahead and take advantage of all of this money that's floating around that seems easy for you to obtain. But enjoy your summer dollars because in the fall you're going to jail. And so, and I say that was a meme that I'd heard. And listen, I mentioned that because it's so important because Georgia Christian Business Network is all about putting God back in business. And being Christian business owners, we want to make certain that we're modeling integrity and that we're walking in the image of God. So I'm glad you made that point. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Doesn't
Exactly.
align with the rules of, because God said for us to occupy until he comes. And so they put these bonds out here for us to take advantage of. However, walk within the guidelines that have been outlined by the Small Business Administration or whatever organization that you're connecting with. So that's the PPP. Any of those that you're listening, and I will interject that we have about 7 folks here on Zoom call. Welcome, Janine, Sabrina. So good to see your presence. Sandra, Robin, oh my God, Susan, thank you so much. We're glad to welcome you to the Zoom call. And on Facebook, we've got so many, it's like about 9 or 10 folks. I know Tyrese and Angela and Jennifer have on the call, possibly Jessica, I'm not sure. But please chat. This is your great opportunity to glean from Henrietta Acolatse. And I love the organization. She has a group on Facebook that shares freely grants and information like that. So we've talked about the PPP a lot. EIDL, is that over with? Are we done with that? And will you tell them what that means in every anything related to?
Okay. Now, remember in the beginning, and so some of you who just joined in the beginning, I said that EIDL, PPP, they're all coming from one mother and father, the SBA, right?
Yeah.
And so what's happening is EIDL is still readily available. However, the grant portion of that is out of money. But the EIDL, the loan portion, is still available, and that's an awesome opportunity. And a lot of people have been finding themselves getting rejected because they might say due to credit. And in the beginning, they said that they were not going to base it off of credit. So they still have a lot of cleaning up to do on why people are getting rejected due to credit. But that could be any kind of situation. We don't know. It could be some people have taken out loans from the government before and maybe defaulted on it. So all of those things, maybe during a disaster time or whatever it may be, there are reasons behind all of those things. However, it's still best that you try to apply and see what you can or cannot get. Now, if you're applying for more than one business, you might have an issue because they do really just want you to apply for one business. Because remember now, on these applications, you are putting your social security number.
And at some point, there's going to be a cross match.
It's got to
You know,
be. It has to be.
I mean, your social security is your social security, and everything that flows on that day, on that given day. Listen, everything that transpired, that went out, that came in under your social is going to be evident. And if there's any red flags, please know that there's disclaimers all over the place. If
Yes.
you've got a PPP or any kind of grant consideration, you know they make sure that you sign a disclaimer. Okay, so one of the things about the EIDL portion, do you think the grant piece will open up again, or are you certain of that, or you know, or?
They are trying to, when it expired, Congress was actually out. So they're trying to vote on not only more grant money, but they're also trying to vote on a second round of PPP. Now remember, when PPP first came out, it was based off of, it came out in April with the initial bill. And they were going to base it so that it could expire in June. So they were only calculating PPP to last you for 8 weeks. Okay. When COVID did not lift up, when COVID said, wait, I'm still around, they said, wait, we have to extend this to 24 weeks. But that calculation that they were giving people based on how much you were, claiming to have made, pay your employees, they still only calculated based off of 8 weeks. So the money that they gave to everybody was for 8 weeks. Even though they extended it to 24 weeks to be used up, that money was based off of 8 weeks. So people did not get much money. Even if you got, I know people who got well over $100,000.
Okay.
$100,000. Their money is almost expunged. That money was only supposed to last them 8 weeks, and for all of us. So with that being said, now they're trying to see if they can vote on a second round of PPP because COVID is still around and businesses are being more and more impacted every day.
Right.
So they are trying to vote on more grant money. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen because a lot of people took advantage of that disadvantage. They abused it. So I don't know if those things are going to happen again. But I do know that PPP, because it is a loan, most likely they will add a second round of it.
And one thing that I know that you've helped several people with is we have a lot of members of Georgia Christian Business Network, or I call it straddling the fence, but one foot in, one foot out, that are not only business owners, but also have a 9-to-5. But there's awesome opportunity for those of you, and sometimes they label it a gig. Is that correct? That there are opportunities if you have a business, although you are still gainfully employed, and if that business has suffered as a result of COVID-19, there are opportunities available for you. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Guys, COVID is horrifying. People have passed away. People are getting sick. We are not able to see our friends. We're not able to gather. But at the same time, there's so many resources out there that's helping not just big companies, but little companies. If you're a company, you're a company, and it's helping us by a long shot, there's so many resources out there that's helping everybody. And it's up to us to take advantage of it or not, you know.
Exactly. I think that if we fail to take advantage of it, there's a lot of fear around it. Someone phoned me and I recommended that they reach out to you. And they were talking about, well, my accountant told me not to, because if I take the loan portion of it that is repayable, although I'm getting this crazy interest rate of, if you're a nonprofit, I believe is 2.75. If you're a for-profit, is 3.75. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, if I take advantage of this, I can utilize it to grow my business, expand my business, to restart my business. My accountant said they're going to be all in your business. You're never going to get rid of them or whatever. What is your comment in response to that?
You know, at some point we have to be independent in our decision making. We have to be very smart, and most of the time people don't know these things, but most of us cannot get a loan, okay, period, outside of this. And I tell people before they make that decision, if you go and apply for a loan for your business, are you going to be able to get it? And then you have to answer that question. Now the SBA is offering you a loan. It's a 30-year loan. You pay back, you start paying back 12 months in advance. If you start paying back early, you can ask for an increase. Now, if you decide not to take it because you're afraid of the government's in your business no matter what. Whether you know that they're there or not, they are there. Okay.
Yes.
So they are. So if you're
They're
afraid of
there. They
taking this
know
loan,
everything anyway.
they know everything. When you apply for the loan, they're asking you questions like, what color was your first car? And you're trying to think, yeah, what color was my first car? But they know that. Why do you think
They
they know
already
that?
know it.
They
They
know all of these
already
things.
know it. Yeah.
Yes. So I tell people, do not go off of what your aunt said or your accountant said. That's their personal opinion, and you don't even know. They may be taking what they need to take for themselves, but they're
Right.
discouraging you to do what you see. Not everybody that, and we're Christian here, so we're going to talk. We're going to talk on that level, Beth. You know, not everybody that smiles with you wants your happiness. And that's just the
Exactly.
bottom line. This is
Exactly.
one of the biggest movements of wealth transfer I have ever seen, and that I will
Exactly.
probably ever see, and that any of us will ever see. Now, if you sit back and decide, and guys, I'm not fussing at you, but I'm preaching to you. But if you sit back and let it pass you, you can't complain to anybody.
Girl, you know, I've got to come right behind you and say, God has a plan. And I
Yeah,
am, and you are a part of it. So I'm loving this. I love speaking with you. You summed it up so articulately, exactly what is happening. And what I said to that individual, what do you have to hide? If you
right.
have nothing to hide, you don't care that they're going to know. And I love your point about going back to addresses you've even forgotten that you lived there, because it's been so many years ago. They know that information. There's a file that exists about you, about
Yes.
things that possibly you've even forgotten. Now, the thing that I want to say is this is a great opportunity, because some of the people's business, there are people, listen, let's be real, that were out there that wasn't doing so well in their business.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't growing. It wasn't
Yes.
thriving. You were striving. And God is saying, I'm creating an opportunity for you to thrive. The other piece to that is, although they're giving you 30 years, you don't have to take them all.
No, you
Once you
don't.
get that in that groove, and the funds are flowing, you're getting revenue increases, great opportunities, pay it back. You know,
Start paying it
it's
back.
such a simple interest rate for nonprofits, and even for profits. It's great opportunity. And so what you have to do is to determine whose eyes are you going to view it through. Pass it through God, and if he gives you to go ahead, asking all of these different people that are not knowledge based and are going on things that makes absolutely no sense,
Yes.
not wise. Be
Right.
ye wise in your dealings, okay? All right. So how are we doing? Do you have any comments, participants? We're down to 6 people on Facebook, I think. And Sabrina Boyd says, yes, Lord. Okay, awesome information. Thank you for joining us, Sabrina. Good afternoon. Angela, Jennifer, and Tyrese are there. So thank you for making yourselves known. Any of you that are on chat with us, on Zoom with us, please feel free to chat if we're needing to add some additional information that we've not covered yet. Henrietta, you're a
Yes, ma'am.
guru. You do a lot. You've got for-profit business, you've got nonprofit businesses. Okay, what I'd like to hear from you, because there are so many people that want to become a nonprofit 501c3 status. Tell us about that process, because I know you provide that service for business owners and for GCBN members. You give an abbreviated cost to that, for that. But tell us the advantages of being a nonprofit, even if you have a for-profit.
Beth, can I get to that in about 5 or 7 minutes? I just want to explain something else about the e-idea connected with the PPP.
You tried.
I want to make sure that I say this because in the beginning, a lot of us applied for the e-idea and we got a grant. Okay, some people got 1,000, some people got 2,000, some people got 6. Max was 10,000. I want people to know that I have currently learned now, unless this changes, but I have currently learned from the SBA directly that when you go to apply for your forgiveness for your PPP, that portion that was a grant will not be forgiven. So let's just say you got $10,000 for your PPP and you got a $2,000 grant. So you will have to actually pay that $2,000 back. It will not be forgivable.
Now, I don't understand.
I threw a bombshell in there.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting because that's contrary to what we had learned previously when you were on the last call with us. Now, tell us why. Do you know why that's not going to now be forgivable?
The SBA is claiming that that it was a part of the PPP. Now, mind you, it was not. But every day they're changing as much as they can. They're claiming that it's a part of the PPP, which it was not. It was a part of the e-idea, which is a separate application, completely separate application. But they're claiming that it was a part of that. Mind you, that grant came with no attachment, with no rules, no regulations. Okay, it was awarded to us just that simply. And now they're saying that it's a part of the PPP, and it would not be, that portion of it would not be forgiven. So those who got $10,000, if your PPP is 20,000, you're going to still have to pay back that 10,000. And remember, that was supposed to be a grant, and you're not supposed to be paying it back. So there are a lot of things that the SBA and the government needs to work on. And if we don't sign some of these petitions in Congress and these bills that they're trying to pass, if we don't get focused and stay in tune with what's going on, we're going to end up suffering in the end for something that was meant to be good.
Oh, Henrietta, thank you for highlighting that. See, do you understand why we continue to bring you back to the GCBN platform? It's because of the numerous changes and ongoing changes that we're not aware of. So I'm dependent upon you to keep us informed and abreast of those changes here at the GCBN community. Okay, so this is wonderful. And as you learn more about that, when is the application started for the qualification to forgiveness?
Now, the application is not out now. The application is through your lender. Now, what the payroll company ADP that I'm going through, they actually have some preliminary questions that they've been asking some of us to kind of help us to get prepared ahead of time for that application. So when it does land, but that application is not currently out, and that's definitely has to be another Zoom Facebook Live call with GCBN, Beth, when that comes out.
Okay, well, I'm going to charge you, and I know I can do this, to make certain within ample time that you call me up. We'll create a show. It doesn't have to be Take Charge Tuesday, but if we're nearing that, I need to get you to inform the GCBN community. It's very, very important, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you open that we can take a few comments from, looks like Facebook Live has them. May I share a few things and you can respond, please?
Yes,
so Angela is saying, thank you, I need help. Jennifer, excellent information. Back to Angela again. I have a not-for-profit. Where do I find the applications for the loans? I'm floating on my funds to keep us moving. So let me want to just deal with that for right now, and then I'll continue.
Okay, so Angela, thank you for your question, and I think it was Jennifer. Thank you for your comment. Um, the application is on SBA.gov. You would look for the COVID-19 relief, the EIDL, and that's Economic Injury Disaster Loan application. It's a very simple application. The most important thing you have to know is that you need your EIN, you need your bank account routing number and every other information you should have. But while you're doing that application, you will need that information on hand. They're going to ask you some questions about revenue and about cost of goods sold and cost of operations that might get you stuck. But we might have to talk offline on how to put those numbers in perspective, because most people don't know how to put those numbers in perspective. If they're not looking at the physical dollar, they don't know how to put it in perspective.
Wonderful. Okay, and so Angela will follow back up if you'll make a comment related to whether or not that answer addressed what you were wanting to hear. If you do that in Facebook Live, we'll circle back to that. Sabrina has said, Jesus, wise as a serpent. I love it. And harmless as a dove. I love that. Tyrese has commented, changes are ongoing. Great information. Yes. Amen to all of that, for definite. It's so important to stay abreast and expand your resources, because there are people out there that know things, that knows things that you need to know. So we're still networking. Listen, we're networking to the extent that more so than we probably did before, because we're tapping into folks that LinkedIn, all of those almost 5,000 connections I've had. I just recently, thank God for Good Samaritan Health Services out of Norcross, becoming Georgia Christian Business Network providers, corporate sponsors, just because of a connection on LinkedIn that reached out to me. And so we're so thankful. We've gotten new members. We're hoping to add more GCBN sponsors and more members. And we'll talk about that towards the end. If you're not already a GCBN member, I'm going to invite you to become a member towards the end. It's so important for calls like this that we receive you. Henrietta doesn't charge us, but we make certain that we sow into her ministry, sow into the things that she's doing, because this is her livelihood. So there are opportunities that we want to have you to undergird GCBN through membership and sponsorship. Okay, so now we're talking about the opportunity for nonprofit as well as for-profit business. But the other thing that I want to make sure that people are understanding, if you're gainfully employed, and you had a business on the side, whether it was nonprofit or whether it was for-profit, there are opportunities available for you as well. What about, they called it gig or something? I don't know. What is that? Do you
as
know
far as when you're saying that, who are we referring to?
SBA, when you apply for EIDL.
Oh, independent contractors.
Independent contractors, right?
Yes.
And so if you qualify for that, please, I invite you to have a one-to-one with Henrietta if you have any questions whatsoever, because I know people that are on this call that have, at least on my Facebook Live, I know of at least 2 people that are out there that have 9-to-5s, but yet have productive nonprofit, or really both of them operate as for-profit because they're not qualified under the 501c3 yet. And so there are opportunities that you need to tap into. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
and just to kind of corner on that, Beth, I want people to know that when we say independent contractor, we're not talking about a business that has to be registered with the state. Independent contractor might mean you just go and braid you braid hair on the weekends. That's an independent contractor. You decorate for baby showers, events, or cut grass, or whatever it may be. Those are independent. Those are all eligible to get some funding.
Yes.
You'll be surprised at how many people have reached out to me and they have gotten, and they're so happy and so blessed.
Yes. Yes. And if you have a business account, oh man, that's wonderful. That's awesome, awesome. If there's an exchange of dollars. Now, know this, remember what we said, that we're walking in integrity.
Yes.
Okay. So, therefore, if you're a business, you need to be filing taxes. Okay. So, there's an opportunity that if you're not doing that and you make it known that you're now a business owner, guess what? You exposed yourself. But who cares? Because there's nothing hidden under the sun. And if we're
Correct.
walking in integrity, we're okay with that. Okay? Because we know scripturally that the Lord says that to pay Caesar what is due. And so we're okay with that. Okay, so we'll give an opportunity later on. Angela said, love it, but need your contact information. I'm so blessed to sign in today. So wonderful, just stay connected. Okay, so I want to talk about grants, and we will get that information out shortly. Grants. From organizations from different states. Talk to us about grants, just grants, grants, grants. What's out there?
First, what are grants? Free money. You don't have to pay grants back. So grants are really good. I'm telling you, there's been grants out there from, I mean, Walmart has been extremely generous. Well, they're extremely generous every year, but most grants are only given to nonprofits. This year, they're open up to nonprofits and for-profits, and even churches. A lot of these entities are finding it difficult to, would have found it difficult to get grants, but now it's open. It's like open to everyone. And so there are a lot of grants out there for minority-owned businesses, minority
Yeah.
women-led businesses, Black males, and not just African American, but it's just open for minority. Period. You know, if your
Yeah.
businesses were destroyed by any of the protests, Beyonce, they came out with some huge funding, you know, and some other groups are giving, and some other groups, and because this is election year, there's so many grants out there. If you're going to help push election in any way, you can apply for election funding for as far as grants that you don't have to pay back. So guys, we have to look and see what's in our capacity. There are things out there. You may think it, search it. Reach
Yeah.
out to Beth, reach out to, if you're part of the GCBN network, you will know we allow these resources to be so readily available. But I want you guys to know that it's out there. It's available. It's out there. And if you miss it, we're not going to let you miss it. But it's up to you to also pull your weight and do your part too.
Exactly. Now, having said that, I think that our time is nearing. And so what I want to come behind you on, if you're not already a member of Georgia Christian Business Network, I want to invite you to join. The fee is nominal. It's $159 for the entire year. We're running a special, and it's going to start the 5th. Well, it's starting right now. Today's the 4th. It's August. Yeah. If you renew during the month of August, or if you sign up with us, you will become a member for 14 months rather than 12 months. We have an awesome seminar that Ursel Charles is going to facilitate for us. That's for members only, free, but it's also inclusive for our GCBN community. The fee is only $20, but we're going to have more opportunities. Like we're going to have a closed door with Henrietta, and that'll be exclusive for GCBN members, and it will cost you to be a part of that. And so what I love for you to do, we also need sponsorships from those that are in a position. A lot of our GCBN members have converted their membership to sponsorship. And so what I like, if you want to stay abreast, we also have a Georgia Christian Business Network Facebook group. You do not have to be a member to be a part of that, but it's important that you connect to stay abreast. We have a newsletter. Provide us your email address. We sent out our August newsletter on yesterday. So if you didn't receive it, that means you're not on our mailing list, and we invite you to be a part of that so that you can stay abreast of meetings like this today with Henrietta. Okay, so that's my shout out for GCBN. Our seminar on the 28th with Ursel, I want to say, but we're here every Tuesday at noon with an empowerment. I'm so excited with the things that we're doing at GCBN. Next Tuesday, we're inviting Susan Cook to join the platform. And Susan and I are going to share with you the importance of utilizing prayer as a powerful resource, probably the most powerful that you ever have. But why pray for your business now? We're going to share with you opportunities, techniques, approaches to prayer, and why pray. So please be back here noon every Tuesday. We've got Dr. Skeet going to be on the platform following Susan and I. And at the end, guess what, Henrietta? Guess who's joining us on the 25th?
Tell me, Beth.
Tanae.
Oh, wow, yes.
Acolatse. She has the same last name because they're sister-in-laws. And I'm so excited to have her. And she's going to
Beautiful soul, yes.
Is she awesome? Yes.
She's awesome. She really is.
She really, really is. And she's going to talk to us about your virtual learning experience and how to enhance that. See, the thing that you have to know about Tanae, she's been doing virtual learning environments years. Yes. And so that's exactly what she's going to do. She's going to give us a little coaching there. And so these are great opportunities for you to participate. I have picked up a couple of questions here. Comment from chat room here is Sandra. Hi, great information on the Zoom call. Janine is saying grant resource that is available. Awesome. I'll send that over to Henrietta, or I'll post it from the Urban Awareness USA.org. Thank you so much, Janine, for that information. We'll get that information out there as well. What else do we have? Angela's asking me about GGG, God Golfing Girls. So I have an awesome announcement about that. And it wasn't in the newsletter intentionally, but I'm going to announce it next in September. But this is the deal for God Golfing Girls 2020. It's going to be mini God Golfing Girls, GGG. GGG 2020 is going to be a mini golfing retreat. It's going to be like a day on Zoom, and then it's going to half a day on Zoom, and then it's going to be at Top Golf for the following Saturday. Now, what you need to know is important for you to participate in this particular one, because GGG 2021 is going to be in March. And I don't have the exact dates in front of me, but they're secure on the calendar of guess where? Chateau Elan. We're going to Chateau Elan. And so it is so awesome. We were going to surprise you with October of going there, but we pushed it out. Some advisors and I decided that let's push it out just a little bit further, because I really want as much participation and for that experience in March of 2021. However, the dates for GGG 2020, I'm going to try to give them to you exactly right now. So I'm going to pull up my calendar right now in the midst of this. The 9th and the 10th is when we're going to have the mini at Top Golf. So Top Golf is prepared to have us come in, still with social distancing. I think we can accommodate like 25 to 30 people. We've got some awesome speakers already. Lee's on the phone. Hi, Lee Gant. How are you? She's going to be an opportunity to be on the GCBN GGG platform in the fall at Top Golf. We've got some great surprises that I don't want to unveil all of that right now, but I promise you it's forthcoming. Okay, so that's the update on GGG. Any other final questions before I allow, let's see, Angela, we've got that. Okay, good deal. So Henrietta, we're about to close out here. Is there anything we haven't covered that we should have?
It's always exciting. I haven't really seen anything. I think we got everything really for now.
Okay, for now. Okay, so what I want you to do is share your contact information and to let it be known that there's a very good discount for those that are members of Georgia Christian Business Network when they come for your services. So to those that you'll validate with me, not that we disbelieve you, but it's just a process check, okay? If they're members of GCBN, then there's a discount that you allow, substantial, that's really good, and I appreciate that. We do, because we're partners in some regards. Okay, so would you please share opportunities of how our Zoom members and Facebook Live can access this information?
Yeah, it's very important that you guys understand that. You know, we have to build each other up. And before I even share that information, I just want to share that a lot of times we look at each other and we want to give you guys this information free. However, it's very important that we build. If we don't build, we're never going to get anywhere. Um, Zoom went from, I think, 5 million users to 300 million users during COVID. We need to be doing that as well for each other. So it's very important. But however, as Beth was saying, it is a awesome opportunity for you guys to get huge discounts, free consulting services, huge discounts on getting your 501c3, or even helping with those forgiveness applications, or even helping with those EID and PPP applications. And I mean hands-on helping. I don't mean just saying, hey, go and print this and fill it.
It's
No, I
true.
mean hands-on helping. You know, so we're here to make sure and hold your hand, because when one wins, we all win. And so we're in this together. So the
Thank you.
discounts are huge, the opportunities are huge, and the resources are huge. So you guys have to come on board, GCBN members. Let's build each other. Let's build this together.
Awesome. Thank you, Henrietta. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And so your contact, phone number, email.
My email is the best form of contact, and if you do have my number, it will be a best form of contact is text message. So my number is 404-259-0923. But Beth, when it comes to them becoming GCBN members first, letting you guys know today, we will send you guys out something that says this is what you're going to get as a GCBN member, and I will be one of those resources to say what you're going to get and how you're going to get it from me. So
Uh,
again, my number is 404-259-0923, and my email is nonprofit501c3@hotmail.com.
I love it. Henrietta, you're so awesome, awesome, awesome. If you're on Facebook and you want to become a part of the group, how do they do that? What's the group name? ECI? What is it?
Well, my personal nonprofit is ECI, it's Emerald Care International, and the group is called the Nonprofit Formation and Wisdom Room. Again, that's Nonprofit Formation and Wisdom Room, and that's the and sign. You'll see us there. We're there. We share a lot of great information practically every day, free information that you won't just easily find. And it's up to you to click on those links, read it, and apply, you know. But that's the group name, and we answer questions, and the GCBN Tuesday shows are showing in that group as well. So we have resources and resources. We show you about your 990, your W3s, and everything that you need to know. So get a part of that group. That is a free group, and you are more than welcome to do ask for approval, and you will get approved in that group.
Awesome, awesome. And listen, I love what Tyrese said. And Tyrese, we're already on it. How to start a nonprofit. And that's one of the exclusives that will be offered to Georgia Christian Business Network members as a free opportunity. But those that are non-members would actually have to pay. They can participate, but fee will have to be paid to be able to participate that. And so we're going to do that because we have the conference with Ursel at the end of the month. We're going to plan that for September, early, right after Labor Day. Okay. So there's some great opportunities. Thank you, Tyrese. So good to see or hear from you. She says good stuff. Good stuff here. Okay. So we want to be true to our time with you all. Please restate the login information for the free group. Okay. Henrietta, the information for the free group. Robin, you're asking.
For the name of the group, it's the nonprofit. It's nonprofit. One word. With
Uh-oh. Did we lose you?
I apologize. I'm not sure if you guys got the whole thing, but it's nonprofit formation, grants, and grants, that's the and sign, the wisdom room. I'm trying to see if there's a way for us to drop that in the notes. I mean, on the
Hey, why
chat.
don't I just do that? Yeah. Why don't we just do that? We'll just drop it in the notes right now, as a matter of fact. And while we're doing that, there's a comment from oh, she says, Beth, you're awesome. God bless you. Thank you.
Yes, you are.
Oh
Yes,
my
yes.
God. I just love you guys. You guys are awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm just going to go to pull up the group right now because I have it here, and I'm going to put the link right now. I'm dropping it in the chat here. And I'm
Awesome.
not just to Janine, I'm to everyone. And I'll also put it, so there it is in the chat for everyone.
Right there, yes.
And for those that are on Facebook, hold on one second. GCB and Facebook, just bear with me a second because we're gonna make this happen right now. Okay, I'm not trying to post in it. Here we go. So here we go. And so you guys have it for Henrietta's chat. Oh, no, that's not right. I'm sorry. I'm posting it on somebody else's something. Okay, there we go. Okay, you should have it now. How are we doing? Awesome. Was this productive? Was this really productive for you? If so, please send us an email, not an email. I want it in the Facebook group. Just let us know some feedback, or
Yes.
if you haven't already expressed that it's good information. What we want you to know is also please join the Facebook group for Georgia Christian Business Network. And I'm going to post that as well right now because we want you there. Answer the entry questions for us, if you would please, and so that we can sign you up as a member of the group, okay? Because this is how you can stay in contact with us as well. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
I've listed both for Henrietta's group and also for Georgia Christian Business Network. Are you seeing them both? Okay, but please respond to us and let us know if this information, according to Jennifer, she's saying, yes, it was productive. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank
Henrietta.
you. Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you so much. It's been wonderful today to have you on the platform as always. You know, we chatted last week, an opportunity to kind of talk about some of the things we needed to prepare. And like we said, and look at this, let's just flow. Because we were doing everything back and forth, and we were like, let's just flow. Yes. And we decided that. And I try to visit prior to a call to speak with whoever my guest is going to be for that week, just like Perry last week, just like Pam McKinney the week before. We just determined, let's just flow, because everything we're talking about, we're like, we should be recording this, okay?
Yeah.
I'm looking for opportunities to keep abreast of what's going on. Also, if you want to have information that we can help bring to the GCBN platform, please reach out to us and let us know, okay? It's been wonderful speaking with you all. Just even see your names, those of us that used to connect on at least a monthly basis. Now we're out of touch. We can still stay connected virtually. So please stay in communication with us. GCBN opportunities are out there. Henrietta has opportunities out there. We're working together. I'm an admin in her group. I may be the person that allow you to join. I don't know, because we work like that. So please share it with others. We're trying to get as much information. We want to empower you. We want you at GCBN to win in business and in life. God has a plan. You are part of it. We're doing our part to make sure you connect with God, because he wants you to have the power to get wealth Okay, take care. God bless you. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so much. Okay, Angela, I'm going to look for that check, okay? And keep us in your prayers, okay? Join us next Tuesday. Susan and I are going to help you understand that prayer is a powerful resource because God wants to hear from you. Thank you for joining us and have a blessed day. Henrietta, we'll talk soon.
God
Okay?
bless, Beth. Thank
God
you.
bless you. Take care. Bye-bye, Dale.
Bye-bye.